Florence is an absolutely beautiful city, but in many ways I wish this was smelly vision, because rather than show you all the usual things about Florence, which you've seen on a million travel shows in a million different places, I want to start off by showing you the oldest pharmacy in the world. Well, actually, it's not really a pharmacy, it's a perfumerie. Back in 1221, 1221 years AD, this was founded, and it smells of everything. You can pick and mix your own scents. I chose a sandalwood one and a lavender one, and they are fabulous. Not cheap, I have to say. One bottle costs €288, and that's a fairly small bottle. But it's mainly a tourist venue. They come to look at the paintings of the monks that used to run it, and some of the documents and books and all the old bottles containing the old scents. Elizabeth I, not the one that just passed away, the one before her, used to send out to Santa Maria di Novella in Florence, this very shop, to get all the perfumes that she wore night and day during the Elizabethan era. And that itself was hundreds of years ago. It still goes on, and this queen speaking to you now is wearing the rather delicious sandalwood version.
I can't get it out of my head. No, I can't get it out of my head. Now my old world is gone for dead, 'cause I can't get it out of my head. Oh no, no, no. Midnight on the water, I saw the ocean's daughter walking on a wave. She came, staring as she called my name, and I can't get it out of my head. No, I can't get it out of my head. Now my old world is gone for dead, 'cause I can't the shoreline can't move. It's an ebb tide. Morning don't get here tonight, searching for her silver light, and I can't get it out of my head. No, I can't get it out of my head. Now my old world is gone for dead, 'cause I can't get it out of my head. Oh no, no, no. Bank job in the city. Robin Hood and William Tell and Ivanhoe and Lancelot, they don't envy me, yeah. Sitting till the sun goes down, in dreams the world keeps going round and round, and I can't get it out of my head. No, I can't get it out of my head. Now my old world is gone for dead, 'cause I can't get it out of my head. Oh no, no, no. No, no, I can't get it out of my head. Can't get it out of no, my I can't get it out of my head. Can't get it out of now my old world is gone for dead. You're driving me crazy, 'cause I can't get it out of my head. Oh no, no, no. No, 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 I can't get it out of my head. It only takes a minute. No, I can't get it out of my head. Close to you. Now my old world is gone for dead. You're driving me crazy, 'cause I can't get it out of my head.
The head of the IOPC, the Independent Office for Police Conduct, used to be a man called Michael Lockwood. After my 2018 trial, at which I was acquitted on all the most serious charges, and the trial was then thrown out, and any retrial was ordered by the judge not to happen because of the incredible flaws, faults, mistakes, misleading the court was one thing, failure to disclose vital evidence was another by Surrey Police and the CPS, the prosecutors. It never went any further, and the trial finished in 2018. I immediately complained to the Independent Office of Police Complaints about the conduct of Surrey Police, and I complained directly to Michael Lockwood. Well, Michael Lockwood's secretary replied once saying the DG, Director General, does not get involved in individual cases. It's the standard way of avoiding any kind of responsibility. I wasn't put off by that, and I called back and said, look, I'm sorry, this isn't an individual case. This is a specific example of what's wrong with the police nationally in Great Britain, and I have to say globally in the world. And one of the key things in the British situation is this absurd rule that police are told you must believe the false accuser or the genuine accuser. It doesn't matter which, because police should never, ever completely believe somebody before investigating. They should be balanced. They should neither believe nor disbelieve. They should investigate before deciding whether the allegation is true or false. It's just not fair any other way. But that has become the way things are run in Great Britain, and I think around the world these days. Shocking. Anyway, I put numerous complaints into Michael Lockwood at the IOPC and never got any further reply from him. Now, you notice in the papers this week, he's been done for rape, underage girl years ago, and is in court soon, so I'm not going to comment on any of the specifics. I don't know any of the specifics apart from what's reported in the media. But I've got to say, in many ways, this is karma. Like Max Clifford, who started the whole thing against me back in the year 2000, karma comes around and tends to bite people on the bottom. Michael Lockwood, as Director General of the IOPC did not do a proper job. He should have investigated Surrey police specifically, but all the police and the behaviour of police, which is disgraceful at the moment, not through any fault of theirs, but often because they're told to be disgraceful. Example, one of the things was that 3 people died during the investigation into me and the other people in the 2015 case that ended up in the trial in 2018, obviously without 2 of the other people complained about, as they were dead. Now, it is a strict rule that police have to explain or have to refer unexplained deaths during an investigation to the IOPC, or actually the IPCC, as it then was, the Independent Police Conduct Commission. Anyway, they didn't do so, sorry police, and I thought this was disgraceful, including one, which you'll know about if you've watched earlier shows of mine, of something that the coroner described in his thing of dying of natural causes. The man had left a suicide note, and the suicide note was never provided to the coroners by Surrey police. Isn't that worth looking into? No, according to the IOPC. Anyway, shocking things to happen. Who knows how this trial will go? I suspect I know the state of justice and the law at the moment, whether the man is guilty or innocent, or rather was, because all these happened way back in the 80s, you know. This is the insanity of the current situation. But either way, I have no comment to make until after the trial and the verdict. But I just wanted to say that. Florence is a beautiful city, even when it's pouring with rain. Driving around the streets in my car, I'm seeing all the beautiful scenes. I have to say, if you go to Florence, the one must, other than the Santa Maria di Novella perfumerie, is Michelangelo's statue of David. Until you've seen it in person, you do not realise how superb it is. It really does seem to breathe, and this is solid marble. But the whole of Florence is always worth wandering around and looking at, and I see hundreds and hundreds of tourists there, often coming from the Orient, Japanese and Chinese people, just gaping at the sheer beauty of the city. Unlike Rome, unlike Venice, unlike Naples. My favourite hotel in Florence is the Villa Cora, where Napoleon used to stay. But this year the prices have gone through the roof, and it is literally 3 times the price of the hotel I now stay at, the Villa Ptolemy, which also happens to have a far better view from the swimming pool. Both hotels, however, are gorgeous. Way back in 1971, I recorded a version of I Can't Get No Satisfaction, the Rolling Stones tune, which actually Mick Jagger loved and told me he thought it was the second best version of the song ever recorded, which I took as a compliment. However, my record, whilst it was a hit in England and a few places around the world, didn't happen in Italy, where it was covered by a group called the Tritons, who did an identical note-for-note cover of my arrangement and went to number 1 for months. As it happens, even though I didn't make a penny from it, I did gain quite a lot, because I became known in the months before it happened, and when the Tritons record did happen, as Acengegno, which was the Italian way of expressing the way I said I can get no satisfaction. I have to admit, I met many extremely attractive young Italians through that song back in the early 70s, while you take a look at my hotels in Florence.
I can't get no satisfaction. I can't get no satisfaction. 'Cause I've tried, and I've tried, and I've
One of the things I haven't touched on is this transgender issue that's currently affecting everybody, it appears, in Great Britain. And my theories on that are rather extensive and long, so we'll go into that probably in show 33 rather than now. But basically, for me, just as with the Donald Trump situation, the Boris Johnson situation, and all the other various things, COVID, Brexit and so on, that have gone on, it's all the media which has hyped a certain topic or subject or position, turned it into, by inflation and colouring and exaggeration, a major thing that people can feel incredible responsibility for and have enormous amounts of righteous indignation, the big important factor in all media these days. But it does seem very odd to me, this simplification of topics. So you take trivial, unimportant topics and build them into things that are of major importance in the media and then become so in the public mind. Anyway, we'll touch on that next time around in show 33 of A Victim Bites Back. Mind you, watching ex-Prime Minister David Cameron being grilled about whether or not he could have done better in preparing for a pandemic, the whole thing is absurd. It's absolute madness. We've got much better things to do than deal with these strange possibilities. Of course the guy didn't prepare for a pandemic. Would we prepare for the Black Death to occur tomorrow? Which, by the way, it well might. I've never seen anything so stupid in my life. I'm sorry if you've objected to the fact that our look at Florence basically essentially concerns a perfumerie and luxury hotels more than anything else. But that's the way it goes. Anyway, enough of episode 32 of A Victim Bites Back. See you for episode 33.